Episode 25 of the Redmont Rangers Road to Glory career mode here on E8FC 24, and we are officially in Season 2. Season 1 ended with great success. We won the League 2 title with 2 victories in the last 2 games of the season, one against Wrexham and then one against local rivals Harrogate Town. We just narrowly missed out on the EFL trophy, losing to Portsmouth 1-0 in the final. 1-0, it definitely wasn't 1-0, it was 6-2 I believe actually was the final score in that particular game. We finished the season with the top goal scorer in the league, Jake Dale of course, and Noah Burgess was tied for top assist contributor as well. On Noah Burgess, we've got some updates to get to for the beginning of Season 2 here. So the first is regarding Noah Burgess himself. So if we go over to my club here, we can see that Southampton came in with a bid of 2.5 million for Noah Burgess. So I haven't checked where Southampton are in the leagues in Season 2 here. I imagine they're at the very least in the Championship. I can't see them getting relegated down to League 1, and actually I checked the table and they weren't in there, so they're at least in the Championship. It's quite possible they got promoted back to the Premier League as well. So Noah Burgess, a Championship or even Premiership club came calling. 2.5 million is a lot of money for a club like Redmont Rangers, so we were forced to sell him really. A couple of other transfer updates while we're here. Charlie Coates has gone out on loan, so has the young guy that we signed from the Youth Academy, Brendan Clark, although I think he was one that I actually recalled. I'll get into that in just a second. Duarte, a young left back from the Youth Academy, he's also gone out on loan, so has Noah Cook. Let's deal with the outgoings first. Charlie Hodgson, the same, out on loan to Colchester. And we have a couple of other permanent departures. So Billy Bentley has left for Salford City, and Joseph Dalton, another key contributor from last season, but another good offer put in for him, over 500,000 for an ageing player and a player we were looking to replace anyway. And again, Cardiff City, a Championship team at the very least. I don't imagine they got promoted, so the Championship side comes calling. Can't really deny Joseph Dalton that opportunity to leave. Joseph Dalton has immediately been replaced, so we've brought in Josh Key from Swansea. 1.35 million, so a fairly substantial sum of money. But if we take a look, he is only 24 years old, he's 68 overall, and he does have some really good stats, and particularly what we're looking for. Really good stamina, good pace as well. We do play 5 at the back, so we don't necessarily need a really quality defender in those wing back positions. We do need somebody who can get up and down the wing, who can cross the ball, who's got that pace to get back in and recover and things like that. So he should fit in well. And then just one other addition to the squad, I believe. Matthew Garbett, brought in on a free, 69 overall, only 22 years old, and a compatriot of Eli Just from New Zealand. Really good kind of attacker midfield style player. So he's going to run Sam Ford, very close for that starting role, alongside Brandon Anderson early in the season. And I think probably it's not going to be too long before he takes the starting position from Sam Ford, despite the fact that Sam Ford was our captain and a central figure last season. He is only a 63 overall. Onto the captaincy, I think that should be the next place that we go. Jake Dale has taken the captain's armband for this season. 28 years old, a real leader in the squad, was the top goal scorer not only in the team but in the league last season. And yeah, definitely a fitting captain. Without Noah Burgess, Ryan Lancaster is going to step up into, or kind of re-emerge really, into his starting role. He is still only 23 years old. He did play a lot at the start of last season, but when we brought in Eli Just, he lost a bit of his playing time. He gets that back now with the departure of Noah Burgess. Josh Key slots in at right back, and then the remainder of the team is fairly similar to what we saw last season. Roman Hewitt, I believe, is the name of this goalkeeper on the bench. He's only 17 years old, and he is 59 overall. So this is the guy that we're grooming to replace Elliot Willis next season. Elliot Willis, 35 years old, so you'd imagine it's going to be his last season for us. And then, so he came up from the youth academy. A couple of other players that have been promoted from the youth academy as well. So we finally got the winger Walter. Can't remember what his first name is exactly. Mile, maybe? Male, something like that. Only 16 years old, so possibly the youngest player in Redmont Rangers history. Finally come of age, 16 years old, so we can bring him up and he can contribute this season. Again, filling that role that Noah Burgess has left behind. Soroya is probably going to be our starting left back over Rhys Bevan. They're very comparable players, but Soroya has got better pace, better dribbling, a bit better going forward, whereas Rhys Bevan is a slightly better defender. We brought him in on a free. We secured him last January, but he has only just arrived. And those, I believe, are the only other updates that we have on the squad so far. I think I will need to bring... Actually, no, I mentioned potentially bringing back Brendan Clark. And that's going to tie in with one of the objectives that we have for this season. So if we take a look at those as well, we can see, I'm not sure if this is how it has always been or if this is a slight bug this season, but we can see a couple of these objectives have kind of carried over from last year. I know they also have a long-term objective along with them, but I thought the short-term objectives were like renewed and replaced. Possibly not. Possibly it's always been this way, but we've still failed that short-term objective from last season in terms of keeping salary growth under 5%, and then the same with signing the 3 players to the defender position. So I'm hoping those don't count as failed for this year as well. But the long-term objective for youth development we need to try and achieve this year. We need to, within 2 seasons, sign 4 youth players to the senior team and play them in 20 matches, either as part of the starting 11 or as coming on as a sub. So we need to try and get that done this year. Roman Hewitt is one of them, the goalkeeper. I'm going to play him in cup games, occasional league games. We're really grooming him to be Elliot Willis's replacement, so he's one. Brett Gibbs featured a decent amount towards the end of last season, so he's a second. Walter, the other winger, with the departure of Noah Burgess, there's going to be a lot of playtime available on the wings, so he's going to be the third, and then we do need a 4th player that we can play this season. In terms of other objectives, we need to get a streak of 7 games with at least 1 goal scored in home matches. Little bit easier, I would probably say, than the 5 clean sheets, so I think we can probably do that one. Financial, we need to make a 4.25 million profit from youth player sales within 3 seasons. We've still got plenty of time left to do that. And then if we look at domestic success, we've got the same objectives as last season. So the board want back-to-back promotions. They want us to gain automatic promotion again this season. They also want us again to reach the round of 16 in the FA Cup, so potentially we'll give that a bit of a better go this season as well. Not too much other things to update you on at the beginning of the season. I've rearranged the coaches slightly. We're still running kick and rush, but I have taken the midfield and defence coaches and applied them to attack and to goalkeeping. So that does mean we're not going to be getting in-game boosts for the midfield and the defence. So it's possible we might want to rethink this. But it does mean that our attackers, players you can see on the list there, they are going to be progressing much quicker. So you can see, for example, Brett Gibbs, his ETA has gone from 25 all the way down to 11 weeks. Lancaster, 266 weeks all the way down to 104. So that should be a positive. And then the same thing here for goalkeeping. We've got Hewitt, his rate of development has more than doubled, 12 weeks down to 5 weeks. So Elliot Willis's time has actually gone up, strangely enough. So he's gone from 8 weeks it would have taken him to progress up to 14. So I'm not sure how that one works, but Hewitt is the main goalkeeper we're looking to develop this year. I do still want to add to the squad. So there are... Oh, we've added another player to Youth Academy. He looks really good as well, actually. It's probably worth mentioning. So this guy, Jesse Cartwright, 80 to 94 potential and a 61 overall already at the age of 16, and he is a beast, so 6'6", 185. I'm tempted to promote him to the first team right now because we've got not only our 3 starting centre-backs, we've got a centre-back on the bench, and then we've got 3 additional centre-backs down here as well. Sam Carpenter is kind of in that similar mould to the Youth Academy guy. He is 28, he's only 63 overall. So I think I'm going to put him on the transfer list and we're going to ship him out. And then when appropriate, we're going to promote the Youth Academy guy who's also called, oh no, not Carpenter, Cartwright. And we'll replace Carpenter in the first team with the young guy, Jesse Cartwright. So let's go ahead and do that. And then in terms of players we're looking to add to the squad, I would like another striker. So we have Jake Dale. Samson Tavide's up to a 64 overall, so he's going to be playing a decent amount. Coates and Noah Cook, not sure if they're going to be part of the team going forward. So I've sent them out on loan this year to see if they can develop. But I'm not 100% sure they're going to be at the club for too much longer, to be honest. So I would like a third striker, not just so we've got a bit more depth, but also so that we can play 2 up front a little bit more comfortably as well. So last thing before we jump into a game here is let's take a look at the strikers I've got on my shortlist. I did put in a bid for Daniel Jebison. It was only 1.5 million. He's valued at 3.1. His release clause is almost 4.5. So not surprising that they rejected it. But this is definitely a player that I'm interested in. He's big, he's strong, he's pacey, he's physical, and he's got decent, actually pretty good finishing for just a 70 overall with such high physical and pace stats. So definitely somebody I'm interested in. And then beyond that, there's not too many strikers here that I'm massively thrilled about. Dane Scarlett would be another one, but he's not so much in the mould that we're kind of building around. Not particularly strong, not particularly tall at only 5'10". But he does have 3 play styles: finesse, shot, technical, flair. So more of that technical style of player than kind of the big powerful bruiser. And Menta is somebody else who I would be very interested in. We have got these guys scouted at the moment, so we'll see what they're looking like when those scout reports come back. But this guy, much more in our usual mould. 6'8", good jumping, really strong. Not that pacey, but should have decent enough finishing and should be, you know, a good powerful player in the air. Only 22 years old. Dane Scarlett only 20. Jebison only 21. These are the players I'm most interested in. Atete from Cardiff here, potentially. Does have high defensive work rate, which is interesting. Leeburn from Charlton as well, potentially. Wooten from Stockport, maybe not so much. He's only a 65. And he's 27 years old. He does have that aerial play style. He is big, strong, target man. So if we're going to go for a player who's just for depth, it's like the absolute third striker on the list, then potentially Wooten would be one that we could look at. Stockport County, actually, that reminds me of the final thing that I need to update you on. Stockport County ended up being the last team who were promoted along with us from League One. So we won the league. We can see Wrexham all the way down the bottom here who finished in second. Walsall finished third, and then Stockport are right there as well. They won the playoffs. Can't remember who they beat off the top of my head. Salford City actually was the team that they beat. So that team last season that were quite a thorn in our side early on. So let's jump into a game. We have got 3 games to get to in this episode, same as usual. So we're going to play the home opener against Peterborough. It's the first game of the season. It's at home. It would be rude not to play this particular game. And then we're going to quick sim Shrewsbury, and we're going to quick sim Walsall in the EFL Cup as well. Got Wrexham coming up fairly soon as well, so that'll probably be the game that we play in the next episode. But for today, we're going to run out pretty much the strongest 11. Didn't have the best pre-season. I did simulate through it, so I wasn't really on it with the training plans. So we've got some players lacking match sharpness. Most people are fit though. with the exception of Gibbs and Zaria, who is going to have to wait for his official Redmont Rangers debut. I think I might actually put Bullock on the bench over Dorset. So starting 11, we've got Elliot Willis in goal. We've got Josh Key, the new signing, making his debut today. We've got Taylor, Hutton, Stanley, same back three from last season, and then Bevan at left back for now. Anderson and Ford, the usual duo in midfield there. Expect to see Garbett make his debut at some point as well though. And then we've got Lancaster and Just supporting Dale up front. So let's jump into this game against Peterborough United. I do want to check out their pre-match report for sure. So they're going to play a 4-2-3-1. I don't recognise too many players in their side. I think actually probably nobody. And they're only a 1.5 star team. So a really poor attack, even though the one key player on Peterborough is an attacking player. They're going to play down the wings. They're going to control the game by getting bodies around the ball in midfield. And they're going to be patient in possession. So potentially a game we could win here. Probably one of the weaker sides in the division, which I'm kind of surprised by.
Thanks for joining us, guys. We'll take some questions now. Yeah, thank you.
See what the media want to know in the press conference then. Are the boys good enough to go up? That's definitely our aim. I didn't expect to have that particular objective in the second season, to be honest. I thought potentially the board would be a little more lenient. Is Bevan on his way out? He's probably not. But he is a little older and a little less suited to the system that we're playing than the other left back. So, and then will we stick with Anderson? Nobody's an automatic starter. I'm not sure why that was the angry response. And I've annoyed Brandon Anderson a little bit there with that answer, but it shouldn't be too bad. So Brandon Anderson, definitely somebody we're looking to replace, again, just because of age. Let's take a look at the kits for this season as well, actually. So I'll be changing kits every season, but I won't be changing every kit every season. I'll be alternating between home and away. Third kit is going to change every season. It's going to be similar to last season, but it's all black, but slightly different from last year. Home kit is the same, and then the away kit has changed this year as well. So last year we had the diamonds across the front of the shirt there. Same colour scheme. Still think it looks good. A bit more similar to the home kit this year, but the away kit has changed, the third kit has changed, home kit is the same for this year, and then we'll do the same next season. We'll keep the away kit the same, and we'll change the home kit instead. That's how it used to be. I remember when I used to buy football shirts when I was a bit younger.
For a match of massive significance.
They used to alternate, change the home kit one year, change the away kit the next. Now it seems like every year you get 3 new kits from most clubs.
On a stage like this, the tricky part is trying to decide which side will outfox the other. There's only one place to savour the excitement, and it's right here on EA TV.
So, Season 2 then, opening day. Peterborough United. Same system. Very similar starting 11. But a tier higher in the football hierarchy. So, see what we can do against Peterborough here on opening day. Good positive start from Josh Key early. He feels very pacey. He feels very pacey on the ball, really quick to accelerate down the wing there. Much quicker than Joseph Dalton.
Well, I like the look of their front three today. It has a combination of pace, skill and intelligence. But will they get enough of the ball? Because their midfield could be overrun here.
This is how the visitors will set up today.
Not sure how much more of a challenge these games are going to be this season, or how much difference there's going to be between League 1 and League 2 in terms of how highly the teams are rated. We've seen Peterborough already, just a 1.5 star team. We saw plenty of 1.5 star teams last year. And already it seems to be much more of a challenge. Peterborough United taking an early lead, 5 minutes gone, and already Redmont Rangers find themselves 1-0 down. Defending was something that was an issue last year. And potentially the same can be said for this year. Just not closing down the player quickly enough. Hutton not making enough of an effort to block that. Kind of made a half-hearted attempt really to get his body in the way. And the Peterborough player just tucks it into the far corner without too much trouble. So, and already we're under pressure again. It said on the pre-match report they were going to be kind of patient to win the ball back, but they're pressing aggressively actually. Ready again, they're in down the wing, pull it back towards the edge of the penalty area. And Caleb Taylor, we can always rely on him to intervene in an important spot. We can't find an option here though. We need Aidan Hutton just to take up that space in the centre of the pitch, but he's kind of drifted over towards the right. Not particularly useful at all. Jake Dale is just offside there. It looks like possibly he was. Yeah, we just need that ball played a little earlier from Brandon Anderson. Only just offside there though. Again, we see the pace from Josh Key there. I don't think he's going to be beaten in behind this season like Joseph Dalton was last year. Anderson with a long ball down into the corner for Eli just to chase. He puts a little bit too much on it though. I don't want to badmouth Joseph Dalton too much. He was a very good player last year. He did play in the vast majority of games for us. A regular starter at right back. And a decent player for sure. That's why a championship club like Cardiff have signed him after all. But definitely not the paciest, and it was a weakness of his, and it did leave us vulnerable at certain times last year. So not able to get much going in terms of any coherent form of attack so far. Peterborough doing well just to kind of press fairly aggressively when they lose the ball and maintain a shape behind.
Well, news of a goal in one of the other matches. Over to Alex.
I'm not sure how that's not a foul. Actually, I think potentially it will be, and it might actually be a yellow card for the player there. I'm surprised to see it. Oh, it must have been for something else then. Not sure what that was for. Not sure how we didn't get a free kick then for the player basically barging Ryan Lancaster out of play when he beat for pace on the outside.
Well, that's a decent looking attack, this.
Well, they're being outplayed here. And
Yeah, Peterborough do just look a class above the kind of players, or the kind of teams rather, that we faced last season, even though they are just a 1.5 star team. And that one is a foul. How's that any different from the one against Ryan Lancaster? Oh, and how has Elliot Willis let that in? That's really poor. 2-0 down after 20 minutes. Just a looping header from the free kick. Brandon Anderson failed to win it in the air, but Elliot Willis must have been really poor positioning for him to be beaten from there. And it is, he's way out. Basically on his 6-yard line.
It's a great goal.
The ball just loops into the far corner. He can't get back quickly enough. Really poor effort from the goalkeeper. We should not be 2-0 down.
Been good enough in this game, but how does he change it?
I think we might need to change system here before too long as well, because we're just able to get absolutely nothing going at the moment. Sam Ford makes a good run, but well defended by Peterborough. Brandon Anderson's just been done, and our entire midfield has been bypassed in one pass.
Possession given away.
Eli Just, we'll see what he can do.
He's going forward well here.
Hit Rhys Bevan on the overlap is what he manages so far. Rhys Bevan puts the ball in and it's out for a corner. Finally some kind of attacking momentum in terms of a Redmont Rangers corner here. Hansley are not happy at all. There is still a long way to go in the game, so no need to panic just yet, but it's not a good start whatsoever from the home side. Josh Key drives forward and pulls the ball back across. Ryan Lancaster's in space and it's a good save from the goalkeeper. Lancaster heading back across goal, but the goalkeeper read what he was doing and was equal to it. Eli Just will put the ball in again. We'll have an in-swinger this time. And it's a good one that finds Aidan Hutton, and it's another good save from the goalkeeper. Header a bit too close, and he just tips it over. The outside of his fingertips rather than the inside. Interesting technique there. Another outswinger this time from Eli Just. Finds Jake Dale, can't quite get his head on it. Ball falls to Aidan Hutton, but I'm not sure how much he knew about it, to be honest.
Well, sitting deep here, almost invited.
Unlucky from Eli Just. Just tried to beat his man, but one-on-one defending there was too good. And Aidan Hutton's going to find himself one-on-one as well. Ball is cut inside by the Peterborough player. Got players back now though, so panic for now is over.
They're making considerable progress.
That's easy for Rhys Bevan to collect. Do need somebody to take up a decent position to receive the ball though. Everybody just kind of stood and watched. Josh Key again trying to take on the Peterborough defender. Cuts it back for Ryan Lancaster, whose position wasn't really ideal to receive the ball there. Really well worked between Sam Ford and Ryan Lancaster. Or Jake Dale rather, to set away Ryan Lancaster. Anderson can't find the ball in the air. I thought that would be a simple header for him there, but just lost the flight of the ball and it fell to the Peterborough player's feet. Poor ball from Anderson, but Taylor is there to deal with it again.
You can't really allow space like that.
Taylor wins the header, finds Ryan Lancaster, who drives down the outside. We'll take a corner here if we can get it. And instead it's a goal kick. Poor cross from Ryan Lancaster. Checking on some transfers from around the various leagues in the next episode or two. Haven't seen too much of any real interest so far, and it is still fairly early in the window. Caleb Taylor again, he's just not getting beat. Oh, really well worked to get out of that difficult situation and set Josh Key away. Drives into the box. I was going to say we'll take a corner, but somehow the Peterborough player manages to keep it in.
If they can just play with more urgency and energy in the second half, they can get back into this.
And look at the pace from Josh Key to recover. Doesn't quite win the ball back, but does enough to hurry the Peterborough defender, Peterborough winger there. Oh, unlucky from Jake Dale. Was just looking for Eli Just there, but the layoff was a little inaccurate. Beat this guy for pace, which Eli Just has. Potentially going to be in here. Look at this guy though, he's rapid. Oh, very unlucky from Eli Just. Looking for Sam Ford in the centre of the pitch there. Again, Eli just finds himself in some space. Jake Dale making a run towards the near post. It doesn't quite drop to him though. Cut out by the Peterborough defender. He's got a little bit end-to-end here now. Towards the end of this first half. Don't want to push too hard for an equaliser in this first period. I'm going to change things up at half time. I think we're going to go for a 4-3-3 in the second half. And we'll bring one of our centre backs, probably Hutton, off. And then it's going to be Michael Garbett to come on and make his debut. So I don't want to push too hard for an equaliser now and concede a third goal before half time. I would rather things at the very least stayed as they are. But they don't. Instead, you concede another goal anyway. Just cannot defend. Cannot defend. I think we're going to have to rethink things in defence. Caleb Taylor's put in a really good performance, but I think Aidan Hutton, potentially his time in the first team might be over. He's just not mobile enough, aware enough. He's very good in the air, but beyond that, you can say he's been at fault for 2 of these goals. Elliot Willis for the other. And a really, really poor first half performance, and we're 3-0 down at half time. Not what I expected. Obviously not what I wanted.
He's bossing the game, Stuart, and giving the defenders headaches.
2 shots for this guy, 2 on target, 2 goals. Can't get more clinical than that. But we've allowed him those shots on goal, really. Right, we're going to have to do something drastic in this game then, so for God's sake. So we're going to go with the attacking game plan, and we're going to set that up in a 4-3-3. We might even have to go 4-3-3 attack, to be honest. So Hutton is coming off. Really disappointed with his performance in the first half there. And we are going to go Ford and Anderson with Garbutt ahead. Just Dale and Lancaster up top. Lancaster has been pretty poor as well, but he's going to stay there for now. And then a back 4 of Key, Taylor, Stanley and Bevan. I might even bump Key and Bevan up to wing backs as well, since we are chasing the game so much. Walt's going to make an appearance in the second half. Tavide probably as well. But we're going to have to do something here to change the course of the game. Really could do with an early goal. Really good intervention from Josh Key. He's just outnumbered there by the 2 Peterborough defenders, but still he comes away with it. Josh Key's been very good on his debut as well. So few options there. Any time a player is in possession, they're just absolutely surrounded by Peterborough defenders. And Eli Just is just staring at Harrison Stanley as he runs forward. Do something, move! Reece Bevan made a run in behind, drawing the Peterborough defender away, and Eli just stands there, just stares, just looks right at Stanley, just watches him as he dribbles straight towards him. Josh Key beaten this time, and the cross comes in, it goes all the way through to the Peterborough player on the other side of the box. Eli just does manage to nick the ball away, and he immediately gives it back to Peterborough.
Challenge magnificently.
Bit scrappy in there for a second, but
to be a throw-in.
as going to say we do manage to come away with it. Goes out for a throw-in though. The other goal scorer comes off. We just cannot get anything going here. Peterborough just all over us in every phase of the game really. Going forwards. Getting back and defending. Sitting in their shape.
Really important tackle. Collins, disappointing pass.
We can't get the ball back.
The memory.
Peterborough are doing what they want at the moment.
From that sort of distance, he should really be hitting the target. It was a really poor attempt at the end.
Redmont Rangers fans in the corner there already
Key.
beginning to leave the stadium. The corner looking very empty. Opening game of the season, but already they've seen enough. Drive and run from Eli just there. A couple of runs off the ball, opened up some space for him, but again, just good defending from Peterborough. Josh Key manages to keep it in. Eli just wins the header, but there's just nobody in the box. We're 3-0 down and there's nobody in the box when we've got the ball in a crossing position. I know we are only playing with the one striker, but a bit more to aim for in the box that time, but Peterborough first to the cross and managed to head away.
Visualisation and execution. And he read it superbly.
Not sure why Garber always seems to be the deepest defender. Ah, I'm an idiot. I'm such an idiot. I changed the attacking game plan. I didn't switch to the attacking game plan in game, so we've wasted 15 minutes there just playing 5 at the back with Michael Garber, our attacking midfielder, at centre back. What an idiot. Oh, we just wanted Jake Dale at the near post there, but Eli just aims for Ryan Lancaster instead, and the goalkeeper just comes and claims. If we just chipped it into Jake Dale, we've seen him score from those positions so many times. Josh Key beaten that time as well, kind of turned around. Can't expect him to win absolutely every duel that he's involved in. Great challenge from Ryan Lancaster. Gonna make another change. To be honest, I'm not sure really what we should be. Oh, De Silva, actually. De Silva can be the 4th player that we play in 20 games this season. So the goalkeeper Hewitt, De Silva, Walter, and then who was the 4th? I'm sure there was a 4th player. Gibbs, and then Gibbs. So actually we've got 4 players we can play in 20 games this season. Hewitt in goal, De Silva at left back, and then Gibbs and Walter on the wings. So actually, yeah, I feel really good about completing that objective at the very least this season.
Both managers deciding this is the time to change things around. Both teams going to the bench. 20 minutes.
Really doesn't look like we're going to get anything out of this game in terms of a result. So
Continues his run.
all that we're doing now really is not playing for pride, but at least playing for a bit of confidence. At least trying to establish ourselves on the game, just so we don't finish the game having been completely helpless for 90 minutes. We at least want to leave the game knowing that we can do something against League One opposition. A couple of good touches from Walter early.
Possession this.
And he gets to the byline and crosses the ball towards Eli Just. Headed away by the Peterborough defence again though. I think potentially I underestimated how much we were going to need to upgrade the squad going into this season.
Well, I'm hearing there's been a goal in one of the other games, and Alex Scott can fill us in.
Thought we could get away with just making 1 or 2 additions. But I think we're going to need more help in defence. Really across the board, I think we're going to need more in defence.
Possession is the watchword.
Probably use another
Inside their own
midfielder.
territory.
And as I said, I do want to add a third striker to the team as well.
Place to intercept. And defensive play.
Fantastic intervention from Caleb Taylor again. And he's going to set Walter away. He's not the quickest at this stage, only 16, so he's still got plenty of growing and developing to do, including physically.
In the middle. Just unable to get his cross beyond the first defender.
Great challenge from Brandon Anderson.
And thwarted there following the cross.
A bit more positive in these last 10 or 15 minutes or so.
For more on the injury, let's go down to our reporter, Jeff Shreve. He keeps looking down and feels
Still not managing really to create any clear-cut opportunities for ourselves, but having a bit more possession, spending a bit more time in the Peterborough final third.
delivered into the box. Offside quite clearly.
Offside will take the free kick. Less than 10 minutes to go, 3-0 down. We're obviously getting nothing out of this game at this stage. But that doesn't stop Hanley from trying to assist Peterborough in getting a 4th goal.
Corner given.
He's managed to make up for his own mistake. Sanford will follow the Peterborough player out short and almost nick the ball away. Does nick the ball away this time. And Stanley's just going to have to clear.
Simple clearance, a good one.
Garbutt has really made very little impact on the game since he's come on, so an underwhelming debut for him.
Moving forward
But
effectively.
Josh Keys looked very good. Walter's looked very good since he's come on.
And Gonzalez has him. The challenge that was required.
And he's even getting back and doing some good defensive work there, so
We take it short. Really effective shielding under pressure. Cipriano. Collins. Very comfortable when in possession. And so
good save from Elliot Willis finally. Stanley's beaten. Peterborough player gets a shot at goal. Elliot Willis manages to beat this one away. It might be the first save he's made all game.
deliver again.
Potentially the second, actually, thinking about it.
Josh Knight. And tries to whack it towards goal.
Somehow the Peterborough player hits the post from there.
Right, didn't he? So unlucky. That could have gone in off the post.
2 minutes of stoppage time coming up. Key.
don't think Watt was going to be pacey enough to get to that. He's not going to give up the fight though.
And pressing from the front.
I hate that. Whenever the CPU does that, it's absolutely impossible. They're an absolute brick wall. You can't move, you can't get anywhere close to the ball. When you do something like that, the players just nudge you off the ball. It's really poor dribbling from Garber. I wasn't even pressing sprint there. And the final whistle blows on a really frustrating game. I feel like we just couldn't do anything. Anything I tried just didn't come off. And even towards the end there, I'm just trying to dribble very, very slowly towards goal. And Garbett has taken these big, heavy touches.
No two ways about it. He really has brought his influence to bear on the proceedings.
Well, he looked a top-class player.
It looked as though
Every time he touched the ball, he was a threat.
I was pressing
And he
sprint
worked so
there.
hard for the team as well.
But I wasn't. My finger was nowhere near the sprint button. I just wanted to nudge it forward once or twice. And then get a shot at goal. And he's just taken several really heavy touches for no reason. Absolutely dominated in that game. Only 5 shots for Peterborough is a positive. But they did score 3 of them. So 242 passes on 63% possession. Yep, a resounding victory for the away team. And a really disappointing
Just a moment of your time.
opening day for Redmont Rangers. Do we think Anderson's time at the club may soon be up? I mean, yes, just because he's getting on a little bit. He's not going to be playing for too much longer. I think he's 32 this year. But he's probably going to still be a fairly crucial bit of the team for this year. You don't look happy at all. Where do you think it went wrong for the team today? Everywhere. We have to make sure we keep our heads, I guess. We let in that early goal and then just kind of capitulated from there.
Thank you.
So the first real period of adversity potentially for Redmont Rangers here. And Anderson finally could switch to centre midfield. We set that up right at the beginning of Season 1. Let's make him a ball-winning midfielder though. Sam Carpenter's happy to leave. Right, so let's get to the other 2 games for this episode. Carpenter already, a transfer offer's come in for him, and it's 400,000, which is more than I was expecting to get for him, to be honest. I'm going to try and get even more though. Let's try for 500. They want 420. Can we get 450? We can get 450. That's a really good deal for Sam Carpenter. He's only 63. He's 28 years old. I'd be very happy to get 450,000 for him. We do have currently 4 million sitting in the bank. So between the sale of Burgess and Dalton and only bringing in Josh Key in terms of actually paying out a transfer fee, we do still have 4 million. I did grab another youth scout. So we've got Brandon Clayton here, a 4-star scout. So that sets back just shy of a couple of million, I think. So that's where some of the money went as well. But with those moves that we've made already, we still do have 4 million left over. So we definitely do have the money to make a couple more additions to the squad if we'd like. And I'm going to try and get a bit more money from this team as well. Again, since we've already got a 450 offer arranged, I think we'll ask for 500 again. It looks like it's probably going to go the same way as it did last time here. Ask for 450. They're sticking to 420. I mean, I'll accept that just in case the other one falls through. Not a massive difference between 450 and 420. Birmingham have come in with an offer for Elliot Willis. Now that's intriguing. Are Birmingham in the Championship or are they in League One with us? Looks like they're in the Championship. Yep, still in the Championship. So I do want to keep things as realistic as possible in this career mode. And that would mean if a Championship club can call in for a League One player, it's probably likely they're going to go. Elliot Willis is 35 years old though. We don't have another goalkeeper who could take his place immediately. So it would be either we sell Elliot Willis, he probably rides the bench for Birmingham and we have to go and buy a new goalkeeper, or we keep Elliot Willis. He plays one more season for us and then possibly retires. And we have Hewitt as the eventual replacement. I think I'm going to reject that for now. I do have a couple of goalkeepers on our shortlist as well. One of whom is unwilling to relocate at this time. Nobody I'm particularly enthralled by. And I would like to see what we can get out of Hewitt. So we'll say no to that for now. Let's put Gibbs on the bench for this game. Let's bring Zaruya in to make his debut. And other than that, I think we probably stick with things how they were. Garbutt's going to start as well for the first time. Shrewsbury did win their first game of the season. We're going to play a 5-3-2. And hopefully we can get a result here. We do get a result. Sam Ford comes on with a half an hour to play and scores late in the game to get an equaliser. So our first points of the season, or our first point singular.
Just a moment of your time.
We were resilient today. Just going to blitz through these. Two very committed teams. Just try and keep the morale up a little bit. We'll stick together. So 1 point out of our first 2 games. I would have liked 3. Preferably 4. And here we see Sam Carpenter leaving the club. He's not played a great deal, to be honest. So he won't be a big loss. And we do have plenty of cover. Suhail, Dorset. Bullock, of course, as well. We get an A for the deal as well, which is good. Carpenter gone. Gibbs, Southampton want him on loan, which we're just going to reject. He's going to play for us this year. Rhys Bevan wants to prove he's the right man for the job. We'll think about that. And Dorset is fairly unhappy that he's not playing very much. I mean, maybe he'll get the chance based on the performances from the last game. Zach Francis probably will play. Sam Ford probably will play as well in this particular game. Just going to change things up a little bit here. Gibbs is going to play. This is where we really have an opportunity to bring in those youth academy players. So we'll play both of our youth academy wingers. Hewitt is going to start in goal. Dorset is going to get his chance here. And Suhail is also going to play. Jamie Ford is going to be on the bench. Rhys Bevan can actually come in. And he's right-footed, isn't he? So yeah, he can actually come in and play on the right there. And actually it might be, I'm pretty sure I set up a development plan for Rhys Bevan to change his position to right wing back. Potentially I didn't. I know I did, but he's still 20 weeks away. So final act of the episode here then is going to be to quick sim this game against Walsall. We made the final of the EFL trophy last year. And we'll see if we can get off to a good start in the competition this year. Which we can. We get our first win of the season. Brett Gibbs on the score sheet, Samson Tavide as well, and then Suhail scores the third after Johnson pulled one back in the first half for Walsall, but a 3-1 victory for Redmont Rangers. At least sees the episode end with the first victory of the season. So a win, a loss, a draw in the first episode means we can't complain too much, and if we can come back with a win in the league in the next episode, then it's not going to have been such a bad start, even after the really disappointing 3-0 victory on opening day. So we'll leave things there for this episode. Next episode we'll take on 3 additional games. I think I'm going to have a look for some more players to potentially target. A defender, a midfielder and a striker I think we're going to need. We don't necessarily have to get them all now, but at least looking towards the transfer window deadline, and then also looking ahead to January as well. So we'll leave episode 1 of season 2 there, and until the next episode, take it easy.